Today I will be assessing passive range of motion for scapular mobility. Matthew, my name is Ellen. I'm a student physical therapist assistant over at Clarkson College. Is it okay if I work with you today? Excellent. So the first one we're going to start with is scapular elevation and depression. Okay. So we have scapular elevation, scapular depression, and then we're going to do scapular protraction, scapular retraction, okay. And then we'll do scapular upward rotation and scapular downward rotation. And the next one we'll move into, Matt, is a medial border lift. Next, I will be assessing scapular protraction manual muscle test. The agonist muscle that we will be assessing here is serratus anterior. You can have your patient in the supine position or hook lying if it's more comfortable. So you'll have your patient in about 90 degrees of shoulder flexion and then roughly about 90 degrees of elbow flexion here. And then Matthew, the motion we're going to be performing is scapular protraction. And what that's going to look like is you're going to go ahead and raise your elbow to the sky, okay? Good. My stabilizing hand is going to be assessing the motion of the scapula on the vertebral border, and then my force hand is going to be applying a downward force to the distal end of the humerus, and then we're just really assessing the scapular motion to see when it breaks or if it breaks during this assessment. All right, Matthew, go ahead and perform that for me. Go ahead and come back down one more time. Go ahead and go up. Good, and then I want you to hold here for me, okay, ready? Good, and hold, and relax. Next, I'm gonna be assessing scapular retraction manual muscle test. You can have your patient in the prone position with a bolster under the distal end of the humerus to abduct the humerus to about 90 degrees, having shoulder and elbow flexed to 90 degrees roughly. The agonist muscles that we will be assessing here is going to be the rhomboids and then the middle traps. My stabilizing hand is going to be solely to assess scapular motion, and I'm going to be here on the vertebral border of the scapula. And then my force hand will be at the distal end of the humerus. So first, I'm going to have Matthew, my patient, perform the movement of retraction. So Matthew, that movement is going to look like this, and right back down, okay? So squeezing your shoulder blades together for me, good. And when you're ready, go ahead and perform that movement. Good, and relax. Good. So Matthew, one more time for me, go ahead and perform that movement. Good, I'm gonna support you here, and I'm gonna go ahead and apply a force down. Are you ready? Go ahead and hold, and relax. Next, I will be assessing scapular elevation manual muscle test. So you can have your patient in the short-seated position. The agonist muscles that we will be assessing here is going to be the upper trap and some of the levator scapulae. So for this assessment, you will be applying a force down onto the superior aspect of the shoulder. And to begin with, you'll have your patient perform that movement actively by themselves. So Matthew, I'm going to go ahead and have you shrug your shoulders up for me. Good, and relax. Good. And then I'll have you shrug your shoulder one more time here. Good. And I'm going to apply a distal force again to the superior aspect of the shoulder, but one at a time. So we're going to start with the right hand here, okay, Matthew? Good. And hold, and relax both of them for me. Good. And give them a little bit of a break in between. Good. Feeling okay? Good. Go ahead and shrug up one more time for me. Good. We're going in with the left here. Good. And hold, and relax. The next thing I will be assessing is the lower trapezius manual muscle test. So the agonist muscle that we will be assessing here is going to be the lower trapezius. Your patient position they will be in prone, and then you're going to have them perform what we call a Superman position or the Y position. So the motion here, Matthew, we're going to perform up and right back down. Good. So go ahead and perform that movement for me. Good. And stay here for me. Good. And I just want, for your patients, just to kind of tactile cueing for them, keeping that scapula down here. Good, relax. towards, pulling that scapula down towards your opposite pocket, okay? Good, so perform that movement one more time for me. Good. So my stabilizing hand is just gonna be here at the scapula. We're just referencing the scapula and not so much the glenohumeral movement. Good, so I'll have you stay here, Matt. My force hand is gonna apply a downward force into the distal end of the humerus. And you only need about 2 fingers. You don't, this is kind of a weaker position for most people, so you don't need to apply a full palm here for good. So go ahead and perform that movement for me. Keep that scapula down. Good, and hold here for me. Good, and hold, hold, hold.